Hello friends, today we are going to see how to use set tab to link two same variables of two different process streams. Set tab can be used whenever you want to relate two variables which are connected with each other in terms of a linear equation. Linear equation can be like y is equal to mx plus c. So if there is an offset, you can put the multiplier as 0 and the offset c can be given, or if there is a relation of some ratio, you can give the offset c0 and you can give the multiplier m as the required value. In chemical engineering, we often encounter such situations wherein a particular flow rate is associated or is dependent on another flow rate, or we require a particular species with reference to its stoichiometry, or we need to relate it with the number of moles of one of the species and can relate to other number of moles. I have taken a case wherein a natural gas is to be reformed with the help of steam, and natural gas is represented only by methane here, just to make the example easy to understand, and reforming products are carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. As per the stoichiometry, require 1:1, that is for each 1 mole of carbon you require 1 mole of steam. So if 100 moles of carbon or natural gas is there, you require 100 moles of steam. But in order to avoid cork formation, it is advisable that you at least maintain 3 moles of steam per mole of carbon. So how do you deal with this in such situation when you go to simulate that in HYSYS? I have already developed a case in HYSYS wherein I have already defined our natural gas. So let us name this as natural gas, which is represented by in terms of methane. All other components are 0, and I have also generated a steam. So let us write this as steam, wherein the composition says only H2, remaining all are 0. So this flow rate being 300, as per the requirement, stoichiometry requires 300, but as per to avoid cork formation, we have to keep it as 900, and the process is simulated. However, we can't do it manually every time, right? Because every time if the process changes, the flow rate changes because of one or other reasons, you can't go and simulate it manually every time. So there has to be a way out. To do that, since we know that there's a linear relationship existing between the flow rate of steam based on natural gas, let's use the set tab. Set tab is located in this palette here. Take this, drag and drop it, click on it, and what you see is the main screen where the connections are existing. We want to connect the flow rate of steam based on this. So our target variable is flow rate of steam, that is molar flow rate. So click on M, you'll be taken directly to the property starting with M. Press molar flow, select. So the connection is established and the source is natural gas. Now you have to keep one thing in mind, that you can only relate flow rate with flow rate, temperature with the temperature. Since we already assigned the value, HYSYS gave the inconsistency error, and whenever inconsistency error arises, HYSYS goes to hold mode. So let us take it back to active mode. It is simulated. You can just see that now the value is 300 based on 100 of this. Sorry, since the multiplier still is 1, it has given the same value. Now let us go to parameter and see, since the multiplier is 1, it is giving you the 300 value same. Now let us put this as 3, and you can just check that if the moment that is 3, steam flow rate has gone down to 900, and you can see that it is converted to black color, means you can't modify this, it is calculated by HYSYS. You change this from 300 to, say for example, 200, and we know that it has to be a 600. You can just see that, right? Going back to set tab, what you should know is that whenever there is an offset, you can give this. So suppose you want relate pressure delta P, you can give here. If there is a relation of multiplier, you can give here. You can just make sure that this has to be the same property. You can't relate flow rate with temperature, flow rate with pressure. For that, you have to relate it with the help of adjust tab, and if the two variables are associated with each other in terms of chemical engineering, right, then you can relate that. So this is how you can make use of set tab, and this makes your simulation much easier to work with. Next time when we meet, we will be working out with adjust tab, how to use adjust tab to help or to aid our simulation. Thank you.